All right.
I'm fucking ready.
You ready?
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
That's just inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Well, they could be listening in the morning.
You don't know that.
I mean, it's possible.
Good morrow.
I mean, it is possible, but are you going to post it in the morning?
People are waiting for you to post
I mean,
this.
yeah, honestly, I still need to post the one I'm supposed to.
As we're recording it, people
Yeah.
are waiting right now.
I know, you're right. You're
It's a
right.
hot commodity.
The three,
There's some fat bearded guy
yeah,
out there
the
smoking.
3 subscribers we have that aren't my 3 accounts.
Hot nips.
That aren't my 3 accounts. I like that.
3 separate accounts, all subscribed.
I'll subscribe.
Are they all you?
Yes.
No worry. Okay, yeah, they're me. They all have your same profile picture
Oh,
right
no,
there on.
they're all
the little
different. Let's
icon.
see. I'm 3 steps ahead of the game. They're all different.
Mine's just a lighter hue of grog. He's just
Oh.
he just gets progressively lighter.
Oh, mine's just Shaq.
Yours is Shaq.
I'm not even joking.
Shaq?
It's a picture of Shaq.
Nice.
So,
Well, hey everybody, I'm Clay from Tableflop. My friends here are.
Steve.
and Ed.
What's going on, everybody?
He thinks we're friends. What? No.
I have
Oh my
a
God,
friend.
I'm
This
your
is
friend.
strictly business. Yeah, just click out of that. So we don't even have to see the bar because
We don't
I
need
get
it.
too easily distracted. I'm like a
I
cat.
do too.
No.
I want to pat the screen.
It looks like we got over the, smile and stare at each other when he presses record, though. That's pretty
Oh,
That was very good.
yeah, that's so funny because you're so giddy.
good. Oh, I know.
All the way during. Yeah, Pandora. Are you buying
Ooh, is
jewelry?
there a
any-
special somebody?
We're
We're going through
Yeah.
his laptop right
Yeah.
now.
No,
Yep.
it was an ad I clicked.
Just some
I
random.
Pandora.
don't
Why
have.
is he beginning out?
I'm a peasant. I don't have ad block.
That looks like
I'm
Adam
sorry.
Driver.
You better not have
That's
anybody
definitely
else.
Adam.
This guy looks like. No, go back.
Okay, I gotta save this picture. That
Yeah,
is.
you absolutely have to say
I
this.
have to save this.
Anyone seen Girls? No? Seen all the seasons? No? That's just me. All right. Well, Kylo Ren. Excuse me,
Oh,
Kylo
okay,
Ren.
that makes more sense now. If you say Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Well, we are here to talk about some nerdy things today. It's going to get real greasy at this
Oh,
table.
It's always greasy.
Real
Grease
greasy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Majorly greasy. And, Steve, this is what, your second podcast?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had a couple first trial runs, but yeah, second official. Second official.
We're not gonna say we're just really bad at doing this.
We
just
hit
say-
a wall at 90 miles an hour.
This could
But we-
possibly be my second official.
Exactly.
Good official. Probably.
One thing I did learn about myself, though, is that I'm more of a facial expression kind of funny, not
Yeah.
necessarily, speaking clearly funny.
Oh,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course,
we
dude.
were all coming back from CC's Pizza. We're still super full.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were playing some Meatloaf in the car. And I look over, you have the most serious, just face on, and then you're also just dancing like a jiggling potato. You're just
yeah.
I don't know why that got
10
me.
out of 10.
I like to think that there's like a Chris Farley-esque
Yes,
Chris-
factor
Farley.
to my humor.
absolutely.
I like
Like,
that.
little
I can
do
see
you
that.
guys know, my shirt is off and I'm rubbing my nipples right now.
Of course.
Yeah.
See, it's
And
distracting.
I don't know. I'm no one. You would be probably like a Adam Sandler. There we go.
Hey, I hate myself now.
Oh no! All right, so wait, are we picking SNL characters?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Go for it.
No, he's not an
Chris Farley.
Surely.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
All right.
I'll accept that.
Do me.
Okay. Ooh.
How do I say this without upsetting you?
Clay.
Yeah.
SNL character.
Mhm.
SNL character.
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Yeah. Put you on the spot.
I would go with.
It's a little hot on the spot, isn't it?
It's a little toasty. I ain't gonna lie.
You are sweating gallons. It is
Oh,
flowing
man.
right now. Like
This
wine and
is,
aspen.
this is actually a lot more difficult than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
What about Andy Samberg?
Andy Samberg? I could
Yeah.
probably take that. Sure.
I like, you.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, that's all the
okay.
time we have. Thank you
All
so
right,
much
good
for
job.
joining
So
Tabletop.
Clay
where we
is
talk-
now Andy Samberg.
Absolutely nothing.
No,
That's
I gotta-
me. That's a real rendition of me.
I gotta think about it. Oh wow, that actually
Love
looks
it.
like you with
Yeah.
canines.
As a orc. This is you as a half orc.
There's a
name.
picture of
Yeah.
Your name is Stephen Gorlock.
Well, new introductions then. I am Andy Samboig.
Sandboy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I am joined by...
Adam Sandberg.
Adam Sandberg.
Adam Sandberg.
No, you're
Um,
not
Adam
Adam
Sandler.
Sandler. Let me
Dude,
think.
well, if I'm Adam Sandler in Click, I'll take it.
Bro, what about
Because I really like that movie.
what about Norm Macdonald?
Norm
no,
Macdonald.
no, he's way too monotone, and no, that's a bad
I
one.
don't know.
I'm sorry.
I don't know any of these people. I'm not good with names.
No.
Mm.
I would even take, like, Dan Aykroyd at one point.
Ooh, yeah,
Mhm.
that'd have been a good one.
Don't know who that is.
He was one of my
You
favorites.
don't know who Dan Aykroyd is? The
Okay,
Blues
that's like
Brother?
not knowing who John Belushi is.
I'm not good with names.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's
He's
my
good.
boy, dude.
All right, so it
Ghostbusters?
just clicked in your head. It didn't
I just,
actually
well,
just pop up
need
on the screen.
I
right
need
now.
to see faces.
No, what about
Right.
Bill Murray? Was he in SNL?
Yes, he was.
Bill, yeah,
He was
wow,
like super,
wow.
super early.
Why did I say that?
That's
That's a
borderline
dumb.
disrespectful.
That was a very dumb thing.
Moving on.
I'll take Bill Murray.
We're gonna edit that out,
I claim
right?
Bill
I don't want
Murray.
to seem like I don't know my
Totally.
SNL trivia.
Of course.
We're here to talk about Dungeons and Dragons stuff, and we just came up with. What are you pointing at?
A short list.
I mean, it's a short list of things that we were gonna say that we were gonna talk about.
Yeah.
On the first one, we were gonna talk about looking for a new person.
Oh yeah, and looking
Oh,
for a new
yeah.
person. Totally. I was just saying future tense.
like LFG.
LFG. Oh, that's what. See, I didn't see him.
Wow.
All the notes.
It's all right. I mean,
Beforehand.
oh yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
That's my bad.
We
gotta get that LFG.
super plan everything like right before we podcast.
Of course, we're the most prepared
Mm-hmm.
podcast on the interwebs. Obviously, with our high quality production.
Wait, who is that guy doing
I'm
the
getting
selfie? Go back to that. We're looking through like D&D artwork.
This one or is this one?
Well,
This
not
is my
necessarily
character.
D&D.
Her name's Jessica or Jess, as
and
her
then
friends
we got
like
like
to call it.
eagles with like dudes with swords,
She
like
likes to be
crazy
herself.
monk-looking guys, and then we have a drawing or
self-expressive.
painting
Mhm.
of someone taking a selfie.
You know who my character would be? Like, if I had a kid, I would let them draw my character, and that would be my character. And I would have
that's
to,
fun.
yeah.
I should have my kids draw
That would be
everybody
perfect.
a character. That'd be so much fun.
Oh my gosh, we are getting that picture.
We're doing that this weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
Is
So
that this weekend?
if bonus because you have more than one kid,
I have 3 kids. Yeah.
you have 3 kids.
Perfect.
Oh
So-
yeah, you know how I do.
You have to have an art session with them, and I want to see some drawings of
Okay.
some of the characters. That would be
Well,
perfect.
what I'll do is I'll describe the character to them. And
Okay.
all 3 of them will sit down at the table and do their best drawings.
Oh my God!
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
have
that's a
the
good idea.
coolest
That's a
slideshow
really-
ever.
When you say a bugbear, I want you to know you're not gonna get a bugbear. You're gonna get a bug,
A bug.
as a bear.
Okay. I
just-
like that.
But I like that idea. I love it. I want to see
Yes.
this.
Oh,
I wa-
jeez.
or a half orc, and it's just like an orc with a like parentheses of a 1 over 2,
Or he's actually just half, like he's cut
like a
in half.
salami.
Yeah. Oh God.
That would be amazing. I
my-
want to see exactly what these
You know,
pictures look
my,
like.
my middle daughter, she's 6 years old, and
Oh.
she likes creepy things like,
Yes.
Nightmare Before Christmas and like a lot of Tim Burton things.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
she's
gosh.
all about watching scary movies. Like she tries to get me to watch movies like It. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like you won't be able to sleep tonight.
You just keep playing it off like, no, you won't be able to sleep tonight. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Like I'll be playing Skyrim
Mhm.
and I'll catch her like if she'll come up to see if I'm fighting a dragon because she gets like really antsy about it, but
Or
she's
some
super
Jargers or
excited.
something.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh,
She,
totally.
when she's older, she'll probably actually like D&D.
Yeah, funny little side note. I don't know if you ever seen this show called Axe Cop. Extremely
Yes.
good. I love it.
Great show.
Axe Cop.
Axe Cop.
So do you like Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation?
Love Ron Swanson.
He's the main character, Axe Cop,
What?
And his weapon of choice is an axe, and he's got a bunch of other superhero friends and other acquaintances. You know, he goes from like planets with dinosaurs on them, but it's all written by what, a 10-year-old?
I think
he's a 10-year-old
yeah.
boy. Yeah, the whole show, and they animate it for him with Ron Swanson's voice.
What?
It's so funny. I showed my roommate the like first 8 episodes or something one night, and we were just dying laughing.
Really?
Oh, it's so good.
Is it Ron Swanson pre Parks and Rec or
It's post.
Post.
Wow, so it's probably even better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he
'Cause
probably
I
had.
didn't know who Ron Swanson was before Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you know what's so funny is that they do table reads of episodes before they start shooting.
Uh-huh.
So I just imagine him just giggling with that Ron Swanson voice, like.
That is spot on. I love it.
Oh man, but fantastic! I love when kids get into like the drawings and stuff like that. I met him in Neverwinter. Just that was who was his name? Minx. Yeah, Minx.
This man's a legend.
Yep, he's gonna be in Tomb of Annihilation.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we got I think it's him, but I got a miniature of Minx. Yeah, and he's also in Dungeons and Dragons Neverwinter. I met him, and he was like, "Come, let us go dispense some justice."
Yep.
Nice.
He's
Fucking legend, dude.
He's from Baldur's Gate. Yeah, he's really.
Just a simple idea for a character. Cool.
Just fun.
Yeah,
Just a
just fun.
character.
But no, we were talking about wanting to get some other people into Dungeons and Dragons. We've taught, I don't know, like quite a few people since we've been here, and we're always looking for new people to just at least teach or have them sit in on certain sessions.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool little cameo here and there instead of coming up with NPCs too. So it makes
Absolutely.
the DM's job easier. Just get to make a character. It takes like a couple hours, and that's super fun. That's a big part of the game.
It's so cool to see people. Like, I remember when we first started playing, the first time we played, like, I think it was your second.
The first time that we played.
Yeah, it was
together,
like your second or third time playing, and like halfway through, you got really into it. And I think we were both like level 3 or something like that, and we saw like I don't think we've ever talked prior to that. But we had such a traumatizing experience in the game.
Yeah, we met, that's
that
when we met
we were like we legit went outside and we were like jittery because we were like we just met the angel of death.
Well, that's the thing.
Like and it really I think it brought us it pretty much made us friends almost.
Oh absolutely. I think it was my second session. You weren't there for my first session.
Yeah.
My first session was definitely getting to understand how combat works and what abilities my character has, and actually I have no other role-playing experience other than
Skyrim.
Skyrim
and making decisions.
It was just a.
So as far as you know, Dungeons and Dragons was maybe like a baby between Skyrim and Monopoly.
Exactly. That's exactly how I perceived it prior to playing. Yeah. And man, that second session really it broadened my horizons.
I remember when you were making your character, and we're going through some ideas, and you were suggesting kind of like a hippie kind of person for your character.
Yeah.
So definitely the first thing that came to my mind was druid, and I think we were talking about maybe like a mountain dwarf for your first character, if I'm not mistaken. Or a hill dwarf.
Yep.
So that
was a hill dwarf.
Yep. And my roommate actually talked you into the Furbog because I didn't have the other book at the time.
Volo's Guide?
So he wanted to show you like the whole spectrum of different races and things that you could be, and I think you fell in love with the Furbog.
Yeah.
So Furbog, druid,
I basically
that embodies you.
Try to compare the two, and reading what a Furbog, was all about. I mean, wow. That was like huge standout for me.
It fit perfectly, and I think it really does run well with your character.
Yeah.
Very
gentle giants.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice, very passive. Yeah. But I can sit down and make a character with anybody, and it shouldn't be hard. Like, for anybody to want to play Dungeons and Dragons, even the people that like didn't understand any of these games at first or thought they were just like a little too nerdy for them, just be honest.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people think it's a commitment.
Yeah.
And it sort of kind of is and it isn't. Like, to try it, if you've never played before, we understand you might not enjoy it, which, that's fine. Everyone, everyone has their own thing they enjoy and they don't enjoy. But I would say at least give it a try. See if you like it. If you don't, just say, well, thanks for having me. This isn't for me, but I loved all the other things. There's other board games, there's other tabletops. And even with that, there's other DMs.
Yeah.
That they're all entirely different play styles. I think we're sort of, I don't want to say we're combat heavy, but we are. We are. But
you guys go looking for combat.
But when we're here and we get those story RP moments, I think at least me and you, like me, I think you're really into the lore and the story, and I am too.
Oh, yeah.
Me and him are the only ones writing notes and keeping track.
Oh yeah. At one point they were just going, okay, go back to the third thing. He was the brother of. Oh, so that means okay, and then we're gonna scribble down this and this and this. Let's compare notes for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. That matches.
Well, I have to do notes because a lot of times, I'll completely forget what happened during the story. So I have random names written on my character sheet, and it's like, who the heck was,
Gothmog.
Yeah.
Who was this guy? But
well, let me ask you this: if you guys, because before I started playing with you guys, I moved around a lot, so it was really hard to find a concurrent D&D group or guild or what have you. Just a same group of friends that you can just sit down at a table. I'll have a pint or two and just drink and play some Dungeons and Dragons with, because that's really hard too.
Yeah.
Or even asking people, because the best place for me personally to meet people like that was either at work or going to game stores.
Yeah.
So game stores like the one that we had, we talked about last week, they have sessions where you can just sit in and actually watch D&D.
Yep.
Or you can go and play X-Wing Assault, or have a big munchkin, just party, things like that. And then maybe if that goes well, you meet certain people and have fun. Yeah. But we were also discussing maybe trying to get a different kind of flow, in a sense, around the table. Because we play with a bunch of guys. Guys are way easier, in my opinion, to talk to about Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
Way easier. Because if I didn't know the right people, I don't think I could ever honestly get a female to play. But I think through certain connections, it is possible. Wait, so how would you guys go around that?
I think it's, I don't know, because it's, when you're talking to someone, you just got to find out what they're into. Like, if I find a dude that's really into nerd stuff like I am, I talk to someone, pretty much my go-to, my little prod, just to see how nerdy they are. It's like Lord of the Rings. Very generic. Not very generic. I personally think is the weirdest thing ever made. But it's something like, how much do they like it, or do they like board games or Game of Thrones, or just board games or video games, hey, you like Skyrim, right? It's like, yeah, everyone likes Skyrim.
Yeah.
So maybe you should try out, some board games. Tabletops, you get to do everything.
Yeah.
You get
or books too.
Yeah.
Just lores. You'd be so surprised of how many girls out there really love Lord of the Rings, the actual novels.
Yeah.
They are Tolkien.
Which I'm reading through right now.
I would have never known when my brother introduced his girlfriend to me, and they're still together. They're still I believe they're 7 years deep with each other right now.
Dang, dude.
And she's got Elvish tattooed around her calf.
That's
and
awesome.
I swear she can speak full Elvish,
fluent in Elvish.
But it's on her leg. How would you know that unless you ask? And there's no harm in asking. There's humans. Yeah. Well, so it makes it difficult. But if she were to come at me and be like, "Yo, I speak, a couple different languages. One of them being a fantasy language. Don't make fun of me." I go, "Oh, please tell me it's something fantasy related.
Yeah.
Please. I don't care if it's if it's Klingon.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
of how giddy I'm going to be when I hear it. That you can, that's what you're into.
Yeah.
And that if you're open to something like that, or even you're a big fan of those kind of books or Game of Thrones, it's like a mutual ground, and get something together and be like, hey, who would you be in this TV show? You ever have those conversations?
Yeah. Yes, I've had a lot of those.
We do those all the time.
That's our go-to conversations when we're just bored.
When we're watching Game of Thrones, we're like, oh, you're definitely a Samwell Tarly.
Yeah.
That would be you in this situation.
That man's a boss. I'll take it.
And it comes with conversations like, why would you say that? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, for you, instance, you, Steve, would be Thoros of Myr.
Yeah.
Because you're a merry soul, very protective of your friends, but you're ready to drink some wine and throw down your sword.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I would be nobody because I would be dead in like -1 seasons.
If anyone's gonna die, probably I got too big of a mouth. Right off the bat,
it always happens that way.
I'd probably be the guy that Ned Stark kills.
No, I swear I saw zombies.
I saw the White Walker.
I saw them.
It's like, you're lying. He's like, no.
Yeah.
No, but I think a big part. I think everyone's played a role-playing game, as in D&D. I think everyone's played that in one facet or another, whether it be in video games or even in their mind, where you're just like, oh, what would I do in this situation? Well,
video games are so mainstream now. Like a lot of girls play them, and they're like, I hate this part of this game. Like I just fall. I fall from like less than like 2 stories, and I die. That's bullshit. I want to come to him and be like, hey, what if I told you that you can make your own character and hang out with a bunch of other nerds all working on their characters towards a common goal, and instead of just looking at a screen all day, looking at your friends and actually coming up with cool battle plans and becoming heroes.
Tying a rope to a dagger and throwing it.
Or clotheslining like a team of orcs with you and your friend. Just coming up with some weird ideas and making each other laugh.
I actually did look up a couple statistics, and it says that 26% of players that play D&D are female. 26%, which has gone up by 6% from the last edition.
Oh, wow.
And is that 5th edition, or is that like...
That's for 5th edition.
Okay.
5th edition
5th edition is 26%. Okay. So, and the edition before the 4th edition?
Mm-hmm.
So
3.5?
What was it? 3.5,
yep.
right?
3.5.
Okay, so 3.5.
People are making lightsaber mods and psionic spirit blades was the non-copyright version of it.
Oh, yeah. So 3.5, I believe, in this article done by Miss Claire Campbell.
Okay. My old English teacher.
Yeah. She wrote
Miss
that... I believe before that it was 17% played 3.5.
Okay.
So the numbers are growing.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've noticed since playing D&D is that there are references to the actual gameplay almost everywhere.
Like the spirit of Gygax.
It really is. Like even I was listening to a song that like they're talking about, they were talking about wizards or something like that. But I noticed that it was like a big description of a D&D character. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what? It's everywhere. And I don't even think they even knew that they were talking about D&D.
Yeah. And I think personally that a lot of girls would join if they knew that Vin Diesel was sitting at that table later that night. Because he's literally the biggest D&D fan
He's got a tattoo of his first ever character, which was a drow.
Really?
Yeah.
On his he's got it on his back or shoulder. I'm not sure.
That's cool.
When he was living in New York, he was bouncing full time, right, from bar to bar. And after work, he said the only thing that really could calm down and boil the stress away was D&D after hours with his buddies.
Nice.
Yeah, and they all worked at the bar, I think. But he would show off that tattoo at different conventions and things like that. Gen Con.
My buddy works at a game store in San Antonio, and Tim Duncan is a big D&D player.
Are you?
Oh my god.
Yep. Tim Duncan. So it's not that like it's not that people don't play it. It's just that it's not as mainstream. And I think honestly, with so many Kickstarter campaigns and all this stuff like we were talking yesterday, it's getting more and more like people are like, I want to play a game. I want to play a board game with my friends where I'm in the Star Wars universe. Yes. And I want to be able to make my own character. I want to be able to do whatever I want. I want to be a smuggler with my buddy here who's a Jedi outcast, and other dude who's the mechanic that fixes stuff. And there's so many different RPGs that are like that people are just slowly discovering. I think it's a slow growth, but it's a definite significant one. But
there's a whole RPG for Army of Darkness, one of the Evil Dead movies for Bruce Campbell. He's on the cover. Yeah, I was really tempted to buy the book. It was $50. So at the time where I didn't have as good of a job, I wanted to get the book so bad. Maybe I can find it on Amazon. But even something like that's very obscure.
Oh yeah.
To the grand scheme of RPGs, and it might have its own rules and things like that, but still it's the same idea, right? Oh, if someone were to come to you and be like, "Hey, I know you're not a big fan of Star Trek, but there's an RPG and you might actually like living in the universe of Star Trek."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Star Wars guy myself. But I would be all over that. Like, hell yeah, I want to be on the Enterprise. I want to have a spinning chair. Like, maybe I would get more into that series.
Yeah.
I would ask this, though. If you were, let's say, even now that you played D&D before.
Yeah.
Let's say you move somewhere else. Mm-hmm. How would you go about finding a new group of players? Or would you do something like online, where you do Skype or Roll20 or even Tabletop Simulator? They have other games that let you do literal D&D with dice and stuff like that, just through a webcam.
Oh, yeah.
What would be your course of action?
Well, to be honest, I don't know if I'd be able to do it through a webcam.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I'm with my boys, drinking some beers, rolling some dice, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
everyone's giving high fives and like,
exactly, like
the screams, the bangs on the table.
Like when I get a killing blow, like I love to make this apartment a theater.
Just cover the walls in imaginary blood.
Exactly. So I mean, doing it over a webcam would be very difficult for me because I would most likely, and I know myself, I would lose interest.
Yeah,
because I don't have that aspect. You know?
There's a ton of systems too that are supposed to like. It is possible, and you can actually have a mobile character sheet and things like that now. You can go to Dungeons and Dragons, their the website with Wizards of the Coast and WizKids and all these other things. They have programs where you can play with other people. Now, I think you can even table simulator.
Yeah, they have.
That's actually really cool. I
all that stuff on there.
I think if you guys are on opposite sides of the world and you can't see each other as frequently, I think it's a great alternative.
Especially if you're like you're already like a year into 2 years into a campaign.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think it'd be a great idea. Or do something where you guys meet up once a year. You know?
Yeah.
Just do a session once a year. And,
well, on this topic, we actually have a friend that started off the campaign while I was here, in my first couple sessions, and then he had moved away. And I believe you, Clay, were talking to him, asking him if he had found another guild or anything like that.
Right.
I remember asking him before he left if he was going to try to find somebody else.
Right.
Or another guild to join.
Yes.
I don't know if he ever did, though.
See, he never... It's harder because it's also very demographic. So when you get to a different state, like, because it's, it's a few states north of us.
Yeah. And
I keep asking him because I'm interested. I want him to find another group.
Yeah.
I want him to keep pursuing that and find that, that thing that
group where he fits in, his characters are...
Yes, and even maybe roll over that character. Like, I would send all of this stuff to the mail.
Oh, yeah.
In a heartbeat. And you message back. He's like, yeah, there's a couple of potential leads here and there. I'm like, keep looking, man. I know there's a game store or something nearby. There's got to be. that would even just have you play in their store and until you can meet a consistent group or whatever.
That's what I like about what they did with 5th edition.
Mm-hmm.
They have this thing called the Adventure League. So they go through pretty much their Wizard of the Coast sends out a packet of this is what the session is going to be for this week or this month or whatever. And they go in and it's normally related to, so we're going to do episode 5 of Tomb of Annihilation. And it's going to be, you have a professional DM and he has pre-made characters. And you just go there, you sit down, you grab a character. Mm-hmm. Sit down with 4 other random dudes with a professional rounded DM. Wow. Who's going to know the rules. You're not going to be confused. Especially if this is great for new players. And he will, and all you got to do is say, hey, I'm really interested. You tell him how much you played. Be like, yo, I played with a couple people. We were all new. Sort of don't really know the rules that well, but, can I play? And these dudes, I mean, they work for the game store. So they want you to come back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they're going to be like, yeah, dude, come over here. Or they'll be like, you should go talk to that DM because he's running a game for new players.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, before I actually played with you guys, I did a online session with some dudes over Skype. We did about like 4 or 5 sessions, which they were like 2.5 hours. It wasn't that bad, really? Honestly. The only part is that we did it over Skype. We didn't use Roll20. We didn't use anything. All we did was you have dice. You don't show them the dice. It's just all trust. The DM was cool. Oh, cool. You had your character sheet, and you just roll dice. And I think I played a monk. I did not know what the hell I was doing. I think I used key points like twice.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
And I hit level 4, so that tells you something.
There you go. I got more of these, whatever they do.
I had a bow staff. And I'm pretty sure I was supposed to be using unarmed combat, but I just wanted my guy to use a bow staff. I thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, that's like we have a player who switches his strikes.
Yeah.
And he switches his bow staff.
Yeah.
He's still walking with one. So I mean technically
you
can get away with it.
Yeah, the dude was like recommending, but like the DM was like, you should try this out, like use the thing. And I was like, that's not how my character really feels.
Yeah.
And he was like, on it, like the dude straight up told me, he was like, honestly, I like that. He was like, because we had, before we played, we did a 2-hour, we called it Session 0, and it was just, today for 2 hours, we're all going to build our characters together.
Nice.
And it was just,
cool.
Every Wednesday, 7:30, we're going to get on, we're going to play for 2.5 hours. 3 hours our limit, so try to make 3 hours like out of each day. But we're trying to shoot for 2.5 hours. We're just going to play D&D session with just some random dudes, and there was a girl,
mm-hmm.
and it was 2 other dudes. So there's 4 people total, plus the DM, so 5. Or 2 dudes. Yeah. So
great size group.
5 total.
Yeah, that's almost perfect.
And we had a good time. And it was fun. And then something came up with the DM was like, honestly, you guys, I'm sorry. I thought I'd be able to do this longer, but it just I gotta cut it. And we were all like, honestly, everyone there in our group was brand new to D&D. And this dude gave us a lot of insight. Gave me a lot of insight on how, like, because I don't know if you remember how I DM, but I did it episodically.
Yes.
He loved to do it that way. And I thought that was so cool, where he'd be like, we start off with a cutback from last episode. You know, this is what happens. And it's sort of like Heroes, where it's, they got like...
I'm a huge fan of, like, TV episodes and Game of Thrones and everything. That's where I get some of my inspiration. I'm like, imagine, if you will, a scene where we cut back to Ola Beg's journey up to this point, and at the bottom of his feet is a little leaf, and as he touches the leaf, it starts coursing with energy in his hands, and like I like little prequels, and then it goes into like last week on Dragon Ball Z or whatever.
Just us charging energy.
Yes, exactly. You're like, all right, because that's like the perfect. If I were to start with people getting into it, just like, all right, so you guys are just walking around, and it's like, okay, well, give us a second to kind of like go into my character for a second, into his head, and then I can go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a great opportunity to get the vibe going,
get this room
get
setting.
The whole,
And one thing that he did that I really try to put in our thing was at the end of at the beginning of the episode, he'd do his own recap. He'd be like, "So, yo, Ed, tell me what your character was thinking throughout all of yesterday's episode. last week's session. And I was like, I tell him like pretty much my recap. He wouldn't go down. He'd pick one dude, one person every session. Just be like, what was your character think of last episode? And I was like, my character was, scared as the dragons came in, that stuff like that. And it made me like think more into what my character was like. Because if he hadn't done that, I would have been like, oh, I'm just playing a game. Right. But because he did that, I was more into like, this is what my character was feeling. This is what my character was thinking rather than my character just did it.
Everyone else is carrying a diary and that paper and everything in front of them. Of like all what the character does, ticks, booms, whatever, powers, and he's writing his own story. And then like the DM is writing the history book. Yeah. Which is...
It was... And it actually made me... Because he didn't do it for me first, luckily. He did it to some other dude. And the other dude was like... he remembered parts of it, but because he did that and I noticed it, I was like, all right, I need to remember everything. I need to retain all that information now. And that's when I started doing notes. And I was like, okay, this is what my character, this is the guy I met.
See, I need to take better notes. That's what I want to
I still have.
I got to stop writing it on my character sheet. I need to actually bring,
I spent like $1 on a composition notebook. Just a nice little wrote my character's name, Dalinar. Yeah. And like his like Dalinar's journal, put it on the front cover, and then it's just like go from there. But
yeah, that's very cool to be a part of, like everybody that's writing down different things. But we just came across our finale of our one of our last chapters in the Herenvale storyline.
Oh, yeah.
So. Did you guys want to talk about that at all? Like what you kind of experienced in that story?
Someone got some big news.
Oh, I know.
Last session.
Oh, man. Well, as far as the beginning of the session, that was... If I were to name a fictional character after the beginning of that session... It would be Indiana Jones. Straight up. Like, we are going up this tower. Well, at first we were staring Damiel in the face. We were basically staring him down.
The big boss.
We just opened this door. Damiel had a couple things that he wanted to say. I don't quite...
He said you look a lot like your mother.
Yeah. Yeah. And my character is actually on a search for his mother. That's the whole reason that he's with this group. Not even really expecting to run into his mother while I'm with them. But throughout my travels previously, I met Allure. Allure asked me if... I got the hots for Allure, by the way.
She asked me to the prom. I said, definitely maybe.
Definitely maybe. And then she touched my arm.
Our arm hairs touched. They graze upon another.
Yeah, she glanced at me once. I totally knew she's into me. It's instant. Yeah.
But, I mean...
I chucked in my mouth because I got so nervous.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I mean... It was, so Damiel basically said that...
Stop thinking of Allure. Go back to the
I'm sorry. I'm getting distracted here.
She's a drow ranger who met him in the Underdark, and you became one of her trusted friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, she sent me on this, mission with these guys, and then that's how I met up with the group. But Damiel, straight up, starts walking out, turns his head a little bit, and he says to me, "You look a lot like your mother," and then closes the door.
Yes,
my character freaked out.
I think me and you had like the biggest we almost fell on my chair when I heard him say that.
Oh, I know.
I was like, oh god.
Yeah, I love those hype moments because when everyone just starts oh my god, that just makes me happy. So I get more energetic. Yeah. So I start shaking, or I have to stand up out of my chair. And then for you, once you start going up that tower, which is basically kind of like a Donkey Kong level,
just
right?
Around.
Like the
straight
first
up
Mario
spiral
level.
Staircase. Yeah,
they're throwing barrels, but before you guys charge up there, an uninvited guest pops through the trap door, and needless to say, it was a classic character of your storyline, Mr. Ed, and that was Titus the Barbarian.
Oh yes, yes.
We came in a badass way.
We had a man come in from our very first campaign that I ran, which we had a barbarian in that campaign, and he was pretty much one hit everything in the room. But as barbarians do, but like we had 2 barbarians in the group, which was awesome. Yeah, like when they both went rage, it was just like 60 damage,
we all
50 damage, and we're just like, I'm not even gonna mess with that right now.
It's so crazy.
My druid, and I'm next to a sorcerer, we're just gonna let
our jaws just drop, and then we're like,
other barbarian got a little upset and wanted to start killing his own, and they end up ripping a guy in half, kind of like an old piece of trash paper.
And they bonded over the
wishbone, I'd like to call it.
That was crazy.
The wishbone of
a
skeleton gassed.
He just comes in with his booming voice, just, where's Kilroth?
Yeah.
And he's just looking for his buddy, who was actually trapped in limbo for a long time. And actually aged his friend, but he was trying to save his life, go back into that world, and through like another dimensional gate. Through the gift of Bahamut, which he still didn't believe in, even though he kind of came face to face. He might have thought it was a dream, but just sees you guys and kind of determines quickly, okay, they're not bad guys, but I'm gonna lead the charge on this one.
Yeah.
And starts running up the stairs, starts killing everybody. And when they initially left his character, he was just in the kind of like the depths of the Forgotten Realms area, by himself in the Underdark. Because he kind of forced everyone around him away from him because he had a cursed berserker axe,
which I gave him.
You gave him.
I think everyone got like a cursed item out of it from a vendor with interest. It was all of them were loans.
I did not know.
Oh yeah, you kicked out. I don't think.
I wanted to roll to see if his.
Intimidated his way.
Yeah, I think you rolled a 20.
That's Titus in the background. No sudden movements, please.
No sudden movements. We might lose our head.
Oh, jeez. I looked at him in the pupils. That's not good.
He'll wishbone your ass.
I'll wishbone fast.
But yeah, it was super cool to see those characters. That 2 characters, which
what an awesome way to say goodbye.
Come back,
because he came back with a new axe, a new will to live and thrive and survive.
Yeah.
So he actually saved his buddy by the end.
He felt a lot more fleshed out. I think really I think it was a great session with him.
And when you guys came up to the top of the tower, some little tricks and hidden walls and passages later, you guys come across this bridge. And what happened on the bridge?
Well,
is that when you found another secret about you? Or was that inside?
No, that's when we started to fight, when Damiel changed into the. It was a lion with wings, basically. I don't know.
Yes.
What do you call that creature?
It was basically kind of like a sphinx, but I wanted to spruce it up a little bit. Damiel had like this white armor that's got lions kind of etched, or kind of like the shoulder pads are just giant lion manes. And
beautiful layout.
It was a beautiful layout. Everything, he pulled it off just great. But he turns into this giant lion, kind of like angelic androsphinx is kind of like with the size comparison of what it was to be. And I wanted to give him like just kind of like this lightning, and you just see this outline of a giant dragon above, like the skies above you. Like,
and he gave us a name. He named our group. Our name is the Storm Chasers, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, right.
That was really cool.
Because we have essentially been chasing a storm this entire time.
I know, yeah.
And I think that was a really fitting name. I think that was,
I wanted to give you guys a antagonist that you're just kind of like, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
Well, and also on top of like his cool look and his abilities, the fact that the storm was coming down, it was it really felt standing, in the eye of a hurricane. And at the same time, he's trying to, before him turning, he's trying to not necessarily explain to us why all this was happening. Mm-hmm.
He's almost like pleading for us to like leave me alone.
Like let me be because my wife. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to bring my wife back, or what was that? What it was?
He's trying to bring his wife back from the dead.
That's right.
Or even tempt you guys to be part of his new order of the dragon, which were good guys.
Yeah.
That he, held as his family. But, between the dragons and the demons and everything, like he became just kind of too attached to his wife. It's kind of like how I see Maggie in The Walking Dead, how her and Glenn were always together, but outside of their little bubble, nothing else really mattered. I kind of wanted that relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's good. Yeah.
But he wanted, if someone would attack his family, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I was there at all times," and he might have been, but his priorities relied in his love interest.
Yeah, and we were trying to basically explain to him that you're torturing innocence. Yeah. You're destroying this world.
I think there's a point where we all said one line.
Yeah, we all had like little one-liners.
He's like, okay. Yes.
Yeah. What do you guys do eventually face him?
Like, you have done too much. It's okay. It's time for justice. Okay.
I'm about to send you to your wife.
Yeah, everyone had this cool line to say, but after the third one, it became kind of comedic. And so he's like, okay. Like,
are we going to do this now? Okay.
And that's when he turns into that.
Oh, man. It was so good. He had that cool line, and then he was also up there taunting you, going, well, if I die here, our death shall be beautiful. He's looking forward to it at this point. And when he's on top of that tower, like his armor is shredded. It's just stripped off of himself as he kind of walks towards his wife. Because you injured him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you injured him on that bridge.
Well, he actually took a lot of damage too while he did that.
Yeah,
not gonna lie,
that white flame just.
We were all down to like 3 HP, and he's like, "I'm gonna go back to the tower." We're like, "You ain't dead yet."
But it was when I conjured the eagles.
Yeah,
they started doing a little bit of damage, and I think that kind of that.
Yeah,
I want to make myself feel good, and
that definitely helped.
Yeah. I pulled that one out of my house. I did. I was like, what do I do? I don't have anything that flies. Anything that flies, giant eagle. That's a challenge rating 1.
We all definitely were.
While our barbarian, Kylos, was directly on the lion's back. Because he kind of like jumped at him from the bridge, and I was just like, if you roll a 1 right now, I swear to God, I'm not afraid to kill you, and it will be epic, but what a way to go.
Rest in peace.
He jumped on him, rolled a perfect 20 getting off of him though, because you threw that raven dagger into his, and you're trying to hold on to it.
We did the zip line.
Yeah, and he did the zip line with a javelin. He's like, I want to javelin my way back to the bridge and hold my zip, like a zip line.
I forgot about that.
Rolls a 20, and it was just beautiful.
Everything, honestly, I think
agile Goliath.
The one day we wanted good rolls, we got good rolls. I think we wrote our ones against the barrels, the Donkey Kong. We got the ones out the way early so that we could keep our
not one player death. Not one player death, and I half expected that someone was going to die.
We were really close.
There were
close calls. Close as it was, I'm still glad that no one died. And that you guys really came together, and
I think if there was one more, if you made it go one more turn, total party wipeout.
Oh yeah,
definitely. One more turn, because we were out of spell slots, which we did some.
I still had some left though.
We did a little trick where we had this like sort of mana potion almost. That's we call it blue Gatorade.
Oh, yeah. And I love that blue Gatorade.
It was essentially like you drink it, you get all your spell slots back.
Yeah.
Which I've had this thing in my inventory for like 4 or 5 sessions. And I was like, I looked at it, I was going through my stuff because I was like, I need to find a healing potion because everyone was at like 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to use my spell slots because I'm a paladin. I only have like 4. So I was like, I want to keep those for like emergencies. So I was like going through. I was like, hold up. Yep. I was like, how many you got? Use them all. I told you to use every single spell slot.
I
had one 3rd level spell slot.
Yeah.
I think it was only 2 second level spell slots, and then all 4 of my first level spell slots left. So basically, what happened was I went around touching everybody and
just
doing
poking
cure
everyone's like cure wounds, cure wounds,
and,
cure wounds.
What was it? It was only what? I mean, I guess with the spell slots, third level spell slots is 3d8.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it's 3d8, and then second level 2d8, one level or first.
We're not the best spellcasters here.
Yeah, exactly.
we found out that Chromatic Orb requires a diamond pretty far into it.
Yeah.
As a man was doing D12s at like level 1.
I thought he like I don't know. Even as a DM, I was like,
this is a little strong.
Very, very strong because you get to pick the damage no matter what it's resistant to. You can find something that it's not.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna have this little ball of anything that I want.
Yeah.
But so you guys had fun. I take it because I definitely had fun in that session. And when it ended, you got to see some familiar faces again. So Daniel's fate was sealed. I think I've made that clear.
One more secret was revealed about a certain character.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, when Daniel was taken, he also became the new angel of death. Like those roles switched. Yep. So Daniel still has potential of coming back in the story at some points. Wow. And then with you, how did you find out about your father? Because it was very interesting. Because someone said something about him, and then you're like, "Well, can I remember his face in like a flashback?" And you rolled really well, like a 24 or something like that.
Yeah, I believe so.
You have like proficiency in like religion or history, plus like your actual wisdom or intelligence stat, and like it all stacked, and it was just like.
Yeah,
we found out.
I found out that my father is Lithuan.
Yep.
Dude.
Who is king of...
who is basically
Sundial.
Yeah. So we've been, my guy whose backstory he's like, which I realize I sort of have the same backstory for every character I've played. Because it's such a good one to go with. It's, he's broke and he's in debt. And I've been working royalty, so maybe you can spot me a couple coins.
First you gotta prove that this furbog druid covered in just like all this
angel blood.
Hemp.
And
he looks like he's maybe going to a rave at some point in his 40s, but that he's royalty. Yeah. So that'll be a challenge for you guys, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I did not see any of that coming, by the way.
And then we got to see some of our old friendly characters that might have moved, like you said before, like our Goblin Trickster Rogue, which was really fun to see him. Yeah. Our Grog, our precious Logo, who is all about that, all about the ladies, but he's just completely out of his wit. He's not as completely as charming as he thinks he is. He thinks he's the Brad Pitt of fish, like amphibious creatures, but he's really just a slothering. He's nice.
He's a nice little Katoa.
Yeah. Then we also have a few others. Kilroth came back, and the Barbarian got to fill his duty. And you gotta not leave it as squeaky clean. The world is ending, guys.
Yeah, so that was one of the last things we heard.
That's one of the best ways to end any like hardcore campaign. Yeah. Magic's gonna blow up the world.
And it's like the end of a season.
And what's great is that we've gone through all of this, and we're only level 5 or 6. Yeah. Well, I think I just leveled up. I leveled
up to 6.
So yeah, we're all level 5 or 6 now. Yeah. Everyone. Yeah. So we are gonna have and that's still so much more room to grow.
Oh my gosh.
And I just can't wait till I hit 9th level. Why 9th? Because I just think that's the number everyone says that's where your character becomes 100% a paladin, 100% a druid. They say 9th level is like the epitome of, you're not the strongest thing in the world, but because you're in a team, you can achieve anything. And you're not fighting elder dragons, you're fighting like adult or young dragons, but you're still fighting dragons, you're still doing cool things. And I just can't wait till we hit that far and we start killing some dragons or some mind flayers or maybe some dinosaurs in the future with hopefully
of annihilation.
as we get annihilated and Yeah.
Or to survive some epic traps like, being steamrolled into a pile of spikes covered in poison.
Yeah, without a rogue, I'm sure we'll do just fine.
Just fine.
Now we lost our barbarians.
Yeah, we lost our meat shield and
which
go Team Squishy.
Yep.
Yeah, roll call anyways for someone who wants to maybe be a barbarian.
Or honestly, if you want to play anything,
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead and message us with any games that you would like to see us play or play with us. And we would definitely like to check those out.
Doesn't even have to be D&D.
Nope.
Can be, personally,
D&D.
I won't play
Tabletop
Monopoly.
poker?
I just won't. I won't play Monopoly. That's just my rule.
We're all trying to maintain our friendship.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Monopoly is off the table.
But
I would destroy
I'm willing to play Risk and ruin friendship over Risk.
Starts.
But if you have any board games or even if it's a different RPG, I'm looking at Starfinder, which definitely want to try that one out.
Space
And
Pathfinder.
if anyone wants to, join us up, just hit us up on Facebook or YouTube.
And if there's any specific topics that you guys would like us to go over, like I know that we talked a little bit about women playing D&D today.
Yes.
Any statistics or numbers that you guys want us to find out, just let us know.
Absolutely. And we're going to be looking into more streaming and content for the Facebook page and YouTube. So that's pretty exciting.
Stream some games,
New move. So
maybe stream board games.
Stream board games.
Or at least record them and do a little post processing and editing, make it cool, flashy.
Oh yeah.
But I'm trash at editing, so it's gonna be trial by fire. A lot of YouTube tutorials.
Those are honestly my favorite channels. Is seeing something with kind of a lower budget.
Yeah.
And then those are my favorite.
It's all about progression, just about having fun, and I think the reason why I enjoy this so much is because we're just a couple dudes just we're not in it for the money. We're just in it because we enjoy it so much. We want to share our passion.
And we want to spread the word and actually get more people into it.
The more people that play this game, the more money that gets thrown at Wizards of the Coast pockets.
And the more friendly community.
Yeah,
and then
the community is so great.
Absolutely. So if you're one of those people that might be kind of lonely just moving to San Diego or over there in Orlando, Florida, and you're looking for people to play with or even have like a live commentary with, we would be more than willing to help you guys out.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about with Dungeons & Dragons, tabletop community.
Yeah. And FYI, we're not professionals. We've honestly none of us have been playing D&D. We've only been playing for a year?
Yes.
So it's not like we're 15-year veterans where we're sitting here with big wizard beards and we're gonna tell you
that would be fun. If we did a live stream of all of us with wizard beards and hats.
See, that's the goal though. That's the end game, right?
Yes.
But we're just a couple dudes that are learning the game. We still learn new rules every other day.
Mm-hmm.
When we play,
like an old school player.
Oh, dude, that'd
just
be
to bring them in like a celeb visit, a celeb
dude.
session.
Yeah, that would be so dope.
We might have. Who would you think would be our first guest?
I'd like to see someone that's from Wizard of the Coast.
From Wizard of the Coast,
or a fantasy book author.
Yes,
because those guys are they write fantasy novels.
Yes,
and they're my major inspiration for playing this game. I'm not gonna lie. I read a lot of fantasy books, and I think if they play D&D, they'd be awesome. Like my favorite writer, I follow him on Facebook, and he just got caught at a Comic-Con playing Magic the Gathering, and people were going up to him where's this guy here? But that's I think it would be so cool to see someone that influences the fantasy genre. And they go on table Critical Role and all that stuff. So I'd love to see someone like that come into it.
Let's get David Blaine.
David Blaine?
Cool. I don't know.
You think he'd be a bard or a sorcerer?
I wouldn't trust I wouldn't trust his crit rolls though. I'd be
bard?
Yeah, are those dice loaded? He's getting nothing but 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you look under the table? It's just a massive D20 and just 20 on top.
There's like 6 of them just lying down.
Listen,
he's a fucking cheater.
Take out your driver's license. How tall are you? Yeah, no big deal. I'm a 5-foot D20. Whoa, what the heck?
How did you get that?
Yeah. Oh my God. Just a little more excited David Blaine. I think we're in the money. So thank you guys. We're going to close out here. We will see you back next week. Bye.
Later, guys.
Yep. Have a good one.